All right. Howdy, everybody. If you're on YouTube, we've got the stream started already. Facebook, we have not just yet. I am going to fix my tie real quick right here in the live stream because I don't think there's anybody in here just yet anyway. But got ourselves some storms rolling through on this Sunday afternoon. We're going to talk about them. All right, that is public now, so that should be good. We're live on YouTube, trying to get Facebook to work. Start Facebook. Let's go. Come on now. All right. I'm going to dive right in here while I'm trying to get my Facebook stream set up. So, the biggest reason we started this stream is for a severe thunderstorm warning for Houston County. Come on, man. Invalid URL. That is not good. Okay. Hey. Well, that's kind of like hang on. Putting us in a box. Okay. Sorry about that, YouTube folks. Got the stream started. And what I thought was going to be good to go for Facebook is just really giving me fits right now. So I'm trying to get that squared away. Let's see. Third time's a charm. We're going to get this to work. Nope, we sure aren't. Goodness. All right, this severe thunderstorm warning is for Houston County. Goes until 6 o'clock. It is for an inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind, so your classic severe thunderstorm. I think I figured out the problem. Thank y'all for who's on YouTube right now bearing with me. I apologize. All right, this should, in theory, finally get to work. Ta-da! There we go. Okay, excellent. All right, we are going live on Facebook. We can simul-stream here. Excellent. Evening, everybody. We are hopping on the stream because, as somewhat expected, these thunderstorms are really getting going right on the edge of the Brazos Valley. We know that we have some Houston and Trinity County folks, especially, had some Midway friends in the stream earlier this week that we wanted to hop on the stream and just let you know about these thunderstorms. And the front's also rolling through BCS too. Actually got a little bit of rain here at the station, so that is good. Just trying to get this to pop up. Okay, cool. We are ready to go. All right, I am going to adjust a couple of things here very quickly. Bear with me. Houston County, this is the biggest reason we started the stream is for you guys, because y'all have a severe thunderstorm warning for quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Angie, Philateos, and North Solch. Yep, winds picking up for y'all. Y'all are actually, I think, going to get a little bit of rain from this too. Maybe not. It's kind of blowing up right as it's leaving. And let's see. We got that radar there for you too, and it looks like portions of College Station going to get in on this as well. So the only severe part of this storm is for Houston County. That is in effect until 6 o'clock. There's also the northeastern sliver of Madison County included in this as well, especially in terms of wind. So there is a concern, for all of us, for some gusts about 40 to 50 miles per hour. What I might actually do here in a second is go get mic'd up, and we may have to very briefly hop on air just to talk about the wind that's coming along with it. It's not severe, but you can already feel that wind switch over here in BCS. All right. Save that. We're going to come right back to this and talk about it here in just a second. Okay. Automatic sensor at Easterwood still says 10 miles per hour. I'm going to take a look at our first alert radar there. Should have a perfect view of those storms as they're leaving at least parts of College Station. I'm going to poke around in here and see if it's getting any decent wind speeds. Looky there. I think that might be about a 45 mile per hour. Oh, no, 27. Okay, there you go. Well, that's good. That's good. So the thunderstorm that's rolling through right now, BCS only pushing out like 30, maybe up to 40 mile per hour. I think the wind that we're going to see after the storm is actually going to be a good deal more than anything that we have on there right now. Okay, there you go, Sam. A little bit of light hail in College Station near Rock Prairie. So these storms really got going very quickly. Been a hail of a week for folks in College Station off of Rock Prairie. Okay. All right, so the good news about this severe thunderstorm warning up in Houston County is it really doesn't look quite as intense as it did just a little bit ago. That one closer to Nacogdoches looks a lot more threatening. Luana, Madisonville, if it's not raining there right now, you may have missed out, actually. This line of thunderstorms really getting its act together kind of as it's exiting. Pea-size hail, somebody just said. Banquetel, good evening. Got some thunderstorms coming your way. I don't know why a couple of comments just disappeared, so I apologize for that. Richard's right by the post office there at Welborn Road. We're gonna hop over and take a live eye over not too far from that location. Let's go to Southwest or Scott and White off of Rock Prairie and 6. Yeah, I'm trying to cruise around here, Briarcrest and 6. You can't really see anything. You can just kind of see that it is raining. David Quinton says there's hail. Jeanette, nope, Hearn is missing out on this. These storms are popping up right as they're exiting the area. Yep, so there's the storm looking from campus. All right, we're probably going to have to very, very quickly break in. Not for anything dire, but just to let folks know. Oh, wow, and you can see the blue sky there already from about Rock Prairie and 6. That is impressive, y'all. Shannon, good evening. Brian, folks, I think, unfortunately, you're probably not getting much rain from this either. This is really just kind of blown up right over College Station. Dobbin, y'all will get some of this, it looks like. Okay, so 2 areas of the storm that I'm watching closely here is obviously that where we still have that severe thunderstorm warning up in Houston County and on the edge of Madison County. A few of you, Madisonville, Midway area have said that there's already some hail. Lovelady, y'all are up next for some of that bigger hail potential. And then it unfortunately looks like Milliken and Navasota is up next. So what we're probably about to do, I'm going to leave the streaming radar up and go get mic'd up just in case we need to hop on air for a second, and we can simul-stream those so that we are able to stay on the stream and also talk to you guys on air who obviously aren't on Facebook or on YouTube. So I'm going to turn my mic off real quick and put it on the streaming radar real quick, and I'll be right back. We are here on the stream. We're about to hop on the air really quickly. And what we will do is simul stream that cut in here in the OTT room. But I need a couple seconds to make that happen. So I will be with you guys here in just a second. And we will get that going. Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning for Houston County. And honestly, that storm's kind of outpaced the warning. I bet we're about to get a severe thunderstorm warning for far southern Brazos County and at least portions of Grimes and Washington. So if you're in far south College Station, including the Speedway, Navas, there it is. Okay. All right. So we're going to hop on air real quick. I did not want to interrupt that selection show, but we're just going to have to. And we will go from there. All right, so I'm going to put it on radar here for y'all, and we're going to hop on air real quick. County as well. So that includes Crockett, Grapeland, Groveton, Trinity as well. That will continue pushing off to the south and east. There's some confirmed hail with that as well. The bigger storm is up. Now we have audio, and now we're gonna pull weather box back up. Take one. You can hop in too now. Okay. And we'll stay on the stream for a little while longer. And Katie, if you could let me know, is there a national break in between the show ending and 60 minutes? Really? Okay, wonderful. Well, at least we got to let people wrap up the show. That's good. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about the lack of sound from that cut in, y'all. We had to obviously prioritize on air. So we're back on the stream now, and I'm trying to catch up on some of the comments, get everything questioned that you need to know. Ariette says there's rain in Somerville. Yeah, this is built back to the south and west pretty good. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning that includes the eastern side of Brenham. Let's zoom in here and show you. Washington on the Brazos, Navasota, Milliken, now moving out of Wilcox, and Anderson as well. And the biggest reason that they issued this warning is because it pulsed up in a hurry. It looked like it had the capability of dropping quarter-size hail and pushing out 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which the wind is absolutely going to be there no matter what, because this is a strong cold front rolling through. It doesn't look like that hail capability is quite there as much as it was. Yeah, the next time we hop on an on-air stream, I will get that audio sorted out for y'all, so I apologize for that. That was just kind of a need to hop on air quick, and folks can at least get the video. Cammy, Round Top might get some of this. It would take a good bit of building back to the west. So the front's almost there. So if they're gonna get any rain from it, they'll know here within the next 30 to 45 minutes. But it doesn't look like anything crazy. So here are the two severe thunderstorm warnings that we're talking about in our area, and it's gonna freak out on me here when it gets to these other polygons because there are so many of them. They're kind of stacked on each other. So you know what? I'm just gonna Get rid of that real quick. So that includes now moving out of Crockett. So if you're Houston County, it's Lovelady, Trinity, northern portions of Walker County, in between Huntsville and Trinity. And then it's, Riverside, Point Blank, Onalaska, Livingston after that, as it gets back into Livingston County. And we've seen this one kind of pulse up and down as well. It does not look as threatening as it did a little bit earlier. These storms almost look like, as this low kind of moves away from us, like they're losing steam a little bit. But at the very least, it's bringing a little bit of heavy rain out there. Jody says you got some hail in South College Station right off of Welborn. Do you know about what size it was? I would be pretty surprised if they reissued this morning. So it goes until 6:15. It is almost 6 o'clock on the dot. I wonder how they're going to treat this here over the next 15 minutes. Yeah, a lot of folks in Bryan maybe got a rain for just a little bit. We got a big push of wind and then some very brief heavy rain here at the station, and that was it. So that's how quickly this cold front came through. In fact, let's kind of look at the back end of this. Don says some pea-size at Rock Prairie, nothing super heavy. There's the north wind sustained at 25 that's going to be with us pretty much through the rest of the evening, right? That's already at Easterwood. I don't even know if Easterwood actually registered any rain. There's a really good view of the whole system that Sarah's got pulled up. You can see those clouds, they popped right up. So the atmosphere, this, to use Shel Winkley's words, he used to like to say that the atmosphere just kind of unzipped and just sparked up these thunderstorms as they move through. So there's a live-by view. Let's go a little bit closer to the storm. We're going to look at Navasota here in a second, assuming we can get a good connection. This should be good. Pea-size hail in Somerville. Thank you, Jennifer. Dime-size hail 3 miles south of Welborn. James, appreciate that. All right, so here we are in Navasota. Beautiful blue skies. You look to the south. Watch what happens. Let's turn this thing back around, kind of looking back towards the north. There it is, right there. Here comes the storms. Hang on. Is it popping up? Okay, so there we are now. It's a little bit delayed. Okay, yeah, so dark skies taking over there in Navasota. Navasota is one of the biggest towns up next with this line of thunderstorms. Megatel says starting to rain there. I think this gives a really good picture here from our association cam. You can see the wind has switched around to the north. And now we are dealing with the sustained north wind, very, very dry air, much cooler air eventually, and unfortunately some blowing dust to go along with that. So if you got some rain, you're kind of one of the lucky ones, especially if it turns out that we're not talking severe hail to go along with it. Let's go back to radar. I'll go pull up our first alert radar real quick. Okay, it looks like the largest hail that y'all had confirmed to us was about penny-size hail. I believe I saw somebody said maybe they had a couple of penny-size hail pieces. This storm has kind of pulsed back up south of town now. Alan, it's possible. Because this storm looks like it's trying to pulse back up. So if you're in between Navasota and Brenham, Gay Hill is where things are heaviest right now. And if we are finding hail, it would be right along the Burleson-Washington County line. Although right now it doesn't look super likely. Let's put on hail vision here. I just looked at velocity. Let's go hail vision. Okay, yeah. So we could have another hail core forming right over the Burleson Washington County line, probably fully in Washington County now. Let's take off the loop. This storm is moving. At 40. I think it's moving a little quicker than that. Weather Service says 40. Let's put this hail core about like this. Moving. Hold for me, please, y'all. $40 miles per hour. Let's get rid of all that. Take that off. Okay, let's get the hail core back in focus here. So again, this is mainly for our Washington County folks, because right now that Grimes County portion of the storm doesn't look too threatening to me. Let's put it about like that in case it does build back a little bit to the west. So here's when some potential hail could get your way. And if this starts to pulse back up a little farther west than where it is right now, this could be a hail maker for Brenham. It's definitely a possibility. Y'all are under that severe thunderstorm warning on the east side for that specific reason. Yeah, YouTubers saying weather radio went a little bit crazy. I think it probably had to do with the significant weather advisory and then the severe thunderstorm warning, and then they reformatted another severe thunderstorm warning just off to our east. So they got a little bit hectic there. So there's the storm track and location times for potential hail that could be pulsing back up. I think mostly on the east side of Brenham. But this portion of the storm that's over Gay Hill right now is going to track over Brenham proper. So we'll need to watch that too. Let's just put it over. Yeah. So I think that's our biggest concern here is like east of Brenham, in between Brenham and Chapel Hill. Yeah, Faye, it's going to be windy in Wixon Valley for a while. It's going to be, that was one thing we knew about this cold front rolling through is it was going to get windy for everybody. The thunderstorm activity is welcome. I will be honest with you guys. I'm a little bit surprised that we've been able to see even this good a coverage of these thunderstorms as they pushed in. If they reissue a severe thunderstorm warning, we'll probably hop back on air. If they do not, we may just cover this on stream. No, Taylor, no hail for Somerville. Okay, so this is what might have me go back on air. Is for our Brenham folks, excuse me. Didn't mean to clear my throat there into the microphone. The hail vision's not quite catching up with that, but this latest little scan of radar right here, west of, in between Gay Hill and Burton, that's headed right into Brenham. So Brenham folks, you don't have a ton of time, but if there's a quick way you can cover up the car right quick. We haven't seen any confirmed severe hail, but you maybe got about 15 to 30 minutes to cover up the car just in case. I think most of you are going to be fine, but just that quick little pulse up. I just wanted to give you the first alert to that potential. Back up north and east, this line doesn't look nearly as beefed up as it did. Walker County folks, though, I do want to tell you, some gusty winds, maybe some hail, but I don't think any damaging hail is coming your way. That's actually the part of the storm that's not warned. And then here's that polygon. So a lot of you within this polygon, you're already in the clear. Like far southeast Burleson County, Allen Farm, Milliken, South College Station, Peach Creek, Shiro, Iola, Gibbons Creek, Roans Prairie. Y'all are all already in the clear. It's about to get windy, but no additional thunderstorm coming for you. Thank you, Cammy. Appreciate it. I did use Shell's words earlier, though. The way that he describes a scenario like this. I mean, this has turned out to be a pretty potent line of thunderstorms. This is part of a severe thunderstorm outbreak. And just real quick, we'll get right back to that severe thunderstorm warning. But I mean, this system is massive. And with it, there's a lot of colder air behind it. And you can see the snow that is coming immediately behind it. Kansas City, Omaha, Wichita. And I don't know what the final score of the Aggie baseball game is, but I think it's getting colder by the minute up there. They were going back and forth. Okay, I don't believe I have any new comments asking about places, but please do. That's part of the reason why we do this stream. If you've got a question about where you are and I haven't talked about you, if I haven't talked about you, chances are y'all are doing just fine. And like I said, there's not going to be anything that pops up north of where this line of thunderstorms is right now. But what I imagine we're going to see here, it is 6:10. At 6:15, I think we're either going to get like a reformatted significant weather advisory, or they may issue another warning that kind of more includes folks about right here, about like that. Austin, Waller County, and then fully in Brenham. Kat, if you don't mind, could you tell me where you are? Where are you seeing a little bit of hail? Are you in Navasota? My biggest concern for hail right now is along 290 and along 105. But this little storm segment's kind of breaking apart here, and it's 6:11. I bet they'll just let it expire. Another look at that severe storm that's moving into Trinity. Could be some. I think we're probably talking pea to dime size hail moving into Trinity, Riverside, also northern Walker County, and then after that, Point Blank and Onalaska. And then the bigger stuff, I mean, we could be talking some much bigger hail, like moving right into Nacogdoches. Linda said you did get some hail in Lyons. Somerville. Okay, thank you, Kat. All right, let's see if the hail vision has caught up with where the radar is pulsing up. Okay, cool. There you go. So that's about where we're looking at, I think, the biggest hail potential here. And I'm going to stop that. So again, Brenham folks, there's very likely at least a little bit of hail headed your way. The severe hail potential, I think, is there, but it's not a huge concern for me right this second. It says it's sampling about M&M size, so about pea size hail, a little bit bigger. It would not shock me if we're still talking about dime to nickel sized hail. I think that's what you ought to prepare for in Brenham. And I would say at this point, Brenham, if you don't have a way to quickly get your car in a garage or something like that, I would say just don't worry about it. But if you do, if you have an easy way to cover up your car right quick, I don't think it would hurt. Yeah, Martha says the sun is out and beat ice. Everybody who's looking at dark clouds right now, let's see, it's 6:15, 6:13. Everybody's looking at dark clouds right now. You're going to see the sun before it goes down. Again, this is a very quick moving system. What comes next after the storm is clear skies and wind, and then probably some dust. I think we'll have some dusty skies for a large portion of the day tomorrow. There's a big old cloud of dust that has not quite made it into the area just yet, but probably will here pretty soon. Sarah's stream there, looking at the storms moving through Walker, Trinity County. Let's have pulsed up a little bit. She's kind of looking to see if there's any hail still with that storm. To me, it is still Washington County where I have the biggest hail concern. Okay, so Shay says you're already getting dust in Snook, I believe that could be coming. Blowing in right from the Brazos River bottom, just to y'all's northwest. Absolutely. All right, let's check back in on this Brenham cell. Madison County, so that's good. Okay, so now that just includes Trinity and a portion of northern Walker, including Riverside. And this is for the same type of stuff, 60-mile-per-hour winds and some hail. And it looks like we're trying to get some hail going again just northeast of Shiro. That's going to stay moving southeast. So here's our potential hail core that is moving into Brenham. And what we're seeing here, P to M&M size hail. The latest sweep looks like it's not really pulsing up any larger than that, so that's good. Valeria, no. Eventually, just wind. Thank you, Cammie. Appreciate it. Just wind. If you were anywhere, I'll even draw it out for y'all because I get it. This is a weird setup, right? Very strong cold front. If you were anywhere north of this line, if you're up here, no more rain. There is 0 rain coming your way if you're north of that line. Okay. Lots of wind, a good bit of dust, unfortunately. And we'll look at regional gusts here in just a little bit once we kind of transition more to, hey, there are some storms that have popped up to now, like, okay, the wind is going to get here. Deleptia says rain in Navasota. Eric wants to know about Edge. Think y'all are looking dry. Wanda's in Franklin, some dust and some wind. Unfortunately, no rain for y'all. And Brenham, I'm feeling a little bit better about this storm not giving you anything more than about dime-sized hail. Okay, so we are sampling up to penny-sized hail. So like I told you a couple minutes ago, if you got an easy way to cover up your car, I don't think it would hurt, especially if you're just east of Brenham. All right, so it is 6:17. So that means that severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. Let me see. What we're working with here. So there's no new. There's no new warning. I also don't really like the shape of that storm, to be completely honest with y'all. All right, this is where, again, our first alert radar really shines here. Okay, I don't see anything. Okay, so we've got ourselves a new special weather statement. Let's see what that looks like. From Hudson to 6 miles southwest of Brenham, southeast around 40 to 50, wind gusts of up to 50 miles per hour, pea-sized hail. Okay, so it looks like they opted to do that instead of a severe thunderstorm warning, which I would tend to agree with. So Washington County folks, we're not officially talking a severe thunderstorm warning, but I largely think the same type of impacts that our southern Brazos County folks. Yeah, Lydia, unfortunately, I think there's more of that to come. Hearn, Franklin folks, gusty wind and some dusty wind, unfortunately. Got too much headroom. There we go. That mic off as well. Yeah, Karen, that's a good point. Lots of spring break traffic storm's probably going to catch up to them at this point because a lot of them may be at a standstill, and they may get some small hail to go along with that. 6 and 290, what? About right there. Yeah, the gust front's gotten to Brenham. And with that, then some heavy rain for 15, 20 minutes at the most, and maybe a little bit of hail to go along with that too. This storm has kind of shown that it has got a peak intensity, but it keeps trying to ramp back up to that and push out spit out some hail while it is doing so. It's trying to push out these little hail cores. And that one specifically is going to move right over 105, but I think that's more of a Chapel Hill than a Brenham threat. Let's put this over the last 30. Throw that in motion there for you. Lorenzo, unfortunately, no. All right. It doesn't look like we're going to get a new watch. And honestly, I'd be kind of surprised if we got any new warnings for the Brazos Valley. But there are a couple of these spots of the storm along the leading edge that really just look like they want to ramp up and drop a little bit of hail. I'm going to take the loop off and take a look at those areas here, and we'll just kind of keep streaming until this gets closer to Houston and kind of out of the area. So just east of Shiro, south of 30. Let's see. Yeah, it's still trying to push out up to quarter size hail. Navasota, folks, I tell you what, if you were trying to get some good rain with that, it doesn't really look like you got it, huh? Unfortunately. It's a really good view of those storms leaving on the top left. Madisonville is back to sunny. Navasota is just kind of dark, and then kind of looking back at those storms from Bryan. Let me hop over to YouTube, see if we got any new comments. Oh, yes, we do. Sorry about that. Yes, we do need the rain. Some of us will get some of us not. A few of us, unfortunately, have gotten a little bit of hail once again this time around, but I find it hard to see a way where we see any of these storms pulse up to severe hail status. But my Brenham folks, strongest part of the storm's rolling through for y'all right now. Yeah, Delethea kind of fell apart right as it moved over Navasota, unfortunately. Steve, temperature drop should be coming very soon. In fact, let me show you. Take a tour around the region, Brazos Valley, and including a couple spots a little bit wider out So down to 79 at Easterwood, which again is not a crazy drop, but we're in the mid 80s a little bit earlier. It's about 69 right now in Waco. So it'll be relatively gradual, but it's going to get chilly. It is going to get chilly tonight. So while we're sitting here, let's project that out all the way into tonight. Start that at about 9 o'clock this evening. Hang on one second. So yeah, by about 9, 10 o'clock, we're still in the mid to low 60s, which is not all that crazy cold. Give me 1 second here. Computer did not like something that I just did, so it's kind of resituating itself. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Pulling that back up. Okay, there we go. So here we go, about 9 o'clock. It'll be gradual, but it'll be, yeah. So here's, midnight, 1 o'clock. Like a lot of you said, it's windy. It's going to stay windy all evening long. Not quite as gusty overnight, but still like sustained at about 20, gusting to 30, 35. And so here we go. Let's go sunrise tomorrow, right about 7 o'clock. Wind chills in the low 30s, upper 20s. Just because of how gusty it'll be. Monday looks just blustery and chilly. And then here we go into Tuesday morning. And I mean, temperature's getting awfully close to freezing, just about area wide. This is the latest model that came in, excuse me very much, just a couple minutes ago. It's got us down even a little bit colder. Wind chills in the upper 20s again, but fortunately a lot calmer by Tuesday morning. That's actually what plays into it getting so cold on Tuesday morning. And then, wouldn't you know it, beautiful St. Patrick's Day. Already so much warmer by Wednesday. Maybe even pushing 80 degrees Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday, mid to upper 80s. And then Friday, upper 80s. And then the next weekend looks like 90 degrees. All right, let's go back to that storm for Washington County friends. And we'll also check in on Trinity, Northern Walker. Yeah, still a couple areas where we could see some hail with that. And, that one's about to move out of, there's really not a ton of people who watch us beyond San Jacinto and Trinity County. I know there's at least a couple of Livingston folks. And if you are watching this stream, the potential for some hail for y'all is definitely going to be there. on either side of Lake Livingston, but now it's kind of looking like the east side of Lake Livingston. But point blank, we're still keeping an eye on that for you. Huntsville, I don't think you're going to be dealing with any hail here, and I feel a lot better about New Waverly not getting hail as well. Now there's somebody here a little bit earlier that was in Dobbin and awaiting some rain, and I think I jinxed it for you. Because that cluster storms is falling apart right as it moves in. And that Brenham and Chapel Hill folks, maybe some P to dime size hail, that's looking a lot better for you too. Let me see if I can get regional gusts. We got a new tornado warning just east of Lufkin. Right, so what have we been seeing so far as far as gusts? I think I was a little concerned that we could maybe get like 50, 55 mile per hour gusts, but I think it's more like 45 is going to be the biggest that we find. That will be enough, unfortunately, to bring in some dust. And I am not specifically looking forward to that. In fact, let me go back up here. Let's look at visible satellite imagery because we were actually able to see a little bit of the dust a little bit earlier. But we'll hang out here for a little while longer as long as it still looks like these storms are toning themselves down. Yeah, Kelly, they really got going just south of OSR and then even more so kind of south of Highway 21. So there's all of the activity to go along with the severe weather, just a big outbreak. And we obviously have gotten a little bit of a piece of that too. And it's kind of hard to see, especially now that the sun is starting to go down. Like kind of towards the end of this loop, you see a little bit of dusty situation there. And so that little cloud of dust might get here just in time for sunset. And a lot of you have already said that you can kind of see the visibility. Yeah, a little bit of wildfire smoke there too. All right, so down to 79 at Easterwood. North wind sustained at 22. Let's look back towards the northern horizon and see what we can get here. It's not super dusty yet. Maybe a little bit. All right, back to the storms. Yeah, it's dirt, and a little bit of wildfire smoke. Waller, storm's coming. It does not look severe. This was previously warned for the potential for quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. We never really saw that. Pea-size hail reported, including a gust of 43 in Brenham. Okay, it looks like we did get a new severe thunderstorm warning for far eastern Walker, northern San Jacinto, including Point Blank and all of Lake Livingston, and Livingston proper into Livingston County. Polk County, sorry. Including Livingston. So yeah, Waller, this part of the storm is not nearly as threatening as it was, but I do think you're going to get at least a little bit of rain from this. The way that it's kind of back building down to the west, though, I don't know that you're going to get a ton. Chapel Hill's where the heaviest rain is moving through right now, and if you're in Brenham and the rain has stopped for you, you're already done. Yeah, Kelly, that would be good. I would hope not. Hopefully a lot of folks knew that it was going to be windy this weekend, especially today. Looks like upper 20s at the absolute lowest, both tomorrow morning and Tuesday morning. But the wind is going to be the biggest factor tomorrow morning. Tuesday, temperatures will be low, mid to low 30s, but the wind won't be that bad. So if you ask me, Tuesday morning is actually going to feel better than Monday morning will. Monday morning is just the cold air is just going to hit you right in the face right when you open up the front door. All right, so we're going to let this line of storms clear Walker County and Cold Spring, and then we'll probably wrap up the stream after that. It's just really not wanted to bring up a lot of rain for Southern Grimes and Montgomery counties. Yep, Sharon said you got some hail in Walker County. You happen to know what size that was, by any chance? You're on the southern side of Walker County. I absolutely believe that. Maybe Crabs Prairie. Or Loma. Yeah, if you're in New Waverly, you know folks that are on the north side of Lake Conroe. Still some pretty heavy rain coming for them. Yep, cold wind. Probably the coldest that we're going to be until October at the absolute earliest. Probably November in all likelihood. In some cases, maybe not even until December or January. Okay, Sharon. Thank you for that report. I appreciate it. That tracks. It pulsed up kind of right over Loma, right as it was moving over Loma. It's now moving, in between y'all and New Waverly. Pea-size hail in Somerville. Sunny and a lot of wind. Yeah, the wind's going to continue. That is for sure. That is what we are most confident about. Kelly, it isn't. Yeah, it's entirely possible that we wait that long until that kind of cold. You never know. October can surprise you. All right. So the biggest current concern, no rain with this. The front's already moved through y'all, so it's just going to be gusty and dusty. The last of us who will tune into Brazos Valley stream are getting the rain. We'll kind of let Far East Texas, Beaumont, Houston take over here pretty soon. It's typically not a lot of folks in these areas that we're talking about right this second, but I do want to still cover. I know there is at least a couple of y'all in Livingston who watch, so we're still hanging on the stream for y'all. And again, that new warning was for the potential for some more 60-mile-per-hour winds and up to quarter-size hail. New tornado watch coming out will be entirely east of the Brazos Valley, so that is good. Let's see what that looks like here in a little bit. Still feel pretty good about that part of the cell moving into New Waverly. Maybe a little bit of build back up. Southeastern Grimes, Montgomery County, not a bunch, but then again, none of us have gotten a bunch. These have been moving so quickly. Storm is almost completely out of Brenham. Chapel Hill folks, enjoy the last little burst of that rain because it is coming to an end soon. That means up next is Industry, Belleville, Hempstead, Waller. I will try, Kelly. Thank you. And then after that, the Houston area, Harris County. Yeah, that part of the storm does not want to give up. It'll be in between Seven Oaks and Livingston, where we see the highest likelihood here for hail. So I'm gonna put hail vision. Yeah, that doesn't look fantastic. A little hail core moving like it's gonna kind of ride right along the eastern part of Lake Livingston. Ooh, moving right over on Alaska. Just in time for some spring breakers to get there or spring breakers to leave there. It says $half size hail. I would be pretty surprised if it's that large. I think it's a lot closer to quarter sized. But still. That's why they warned it. The potential for some hail. It was moving right into Unalaska, and after that, Livingston. So I suppose that's technically out of the Brazos Valley, but I know a lot of y'all have interests along Lake Livingston, so we'll stay on the stream here for a little while longer. There's that new tornado warning. Oh my goodness gracious. That looks so bad. I need to fix that. Stop it. Quit it. Terreno? St. Augustine? Where that new tornado warning is. All right, we're just not going to mess with that. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about these radar trends for Austin and Waller County, folks. I don't think we'll see this pulse back up too severe. That latest look looks better. But point blank on Alaska, if there's hail with any of these storms, that's where it is right now. See, I bet hail vision looks a little better too. A little bit, not really. Hardin County, y'all have a little bit of time before this moves to y'all. But what I expect we will see, okay, yeah, so there's the new tornado watch, and I believe most of Hardin County is included in that. Including, Buna, Jasper, Lumberton. So a new watch here, there, and it's because of the cluster of storms that we're covering in our area that's about to move south and east toward y'all. These storms right here have had a history of a little bit of rotation, but especially producing some hail. That's the active tornado warning right now. I think that's going to stay likely to y'all's north and east. But the concern here would be for some of these storms to intensify as they move into your area. So, yeah, Hardin County definitely need to be alert on that one. All right, so one last shout out to my own Alaska and Livingston friends. Again, if you're going to be seeing any hail, it is going to be happening here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Polk, San Jacinto, Trinity, Walker. Been on the stream so long that we just did a screensaver over here. All right. So one last little radar roundup here. Again, Onalaska, Livingston, y'all are up next for the potential here for some severe hail. The hail core does appear to be pulsing down, fortunately, right as it's moving into Onalaska. But if you know anybody who lives, especially on the east side of Lake Livingston, this is a storm that you just need to be inside for. We haven't seen confirmed severe gusts. I think the bigger concern here is for hail. And I'll put a storm track there, kind of where that hail core is. And just put it out, including some of these spots. West Livingston at about 7:20. In Alaska, obviously, here within the next 10 minutes, if not sooner. And then some areas out there moving really into kind of more deeper East Texas outside of the Brazos Valley. Still some hail potential here for in between New Waverly and Willis, like on the northeast side of Lake Conroe. And then a little bit more of just rain, 105 Dobbin up towards the Aggie Highway, Montgomery. And again, that Washington County cell's pretty much cleared, y'all. Belleville, still just a little bit of rain. Yeah, Martha, it's going to be that way for a while. For especially the next couple hours, it's going to be windy all night tonight. But the next couple hours will be quite gusty. Quite gusty. Let's see if we got any new data out of Easterwood. Yeah, still just says north sustained at 20. So let's talk about the wind for everybody else, and then we'll show you the 10-day, and then we'll probably wrap up the stream with one more radar view. So that's what we're looking at for the next couple hours. Gusts to about 40, maybe even up to 45. Yeah, Steve, it's gonna be windy for a hot minute, as you can see here. I'll take it all the way through about 10 o'clock midnight. I think once we get past about 10, 11 o'clock this evening, the gusts will come down, but it's gonna stay windy for a while. My concern there is just like the minor things. You got some fence lines in your neighborhood that haven't been doing too well. Maybe this wind is going to kind of finish the job over the course of this evening. Yep, Onalaska, West Livingston. And Goodrich after that. Point Blank, y'all probably missing out on the hail. Cold Spring, you are too. So that's good. So we'll see if that severe thunderstorm warning is kind of reformatted to kind of just be east of San Jacinto County and maybe more Polk County. But really no huge indication here that any other parts of these storms are intensifying anything crazy. New Waverly, Willis, y'all are going to get some good rain to go along with that. Appreciate you, Steve. Thanks for saying so. Yep, gusty and dusty. That's the next 12 hours. And as long as we have that northwest wind on hand, there's probably going to be some gust flying along with that. Martha, yeah, any trees that were maybe not doing so hot could absolutely tip over in this type of wind. Or, well-established, mature, healthy trees are going to be just fine in this kind of wind. But yeah, like new trees that aren't super well supported or like poor root structure, things like that. That's the type of stuff that can tip over, snap, and things like that. Which can lead to, in some instances, some very sporadic power outages. I think it's a possibility we see that. Okay, gang, I think we'll wrap up the stream with that. Let me show you the 10-day real quick here because we do have a first alert weather night for Monday night. For pretty much area-wide, we're expecting near freezing temperatures. Right now, the forecast low is 36 here in town. I think I'm going to bring that down to 34 with the latest data that we got in tonight. For just about the entire area, I'd prepare for a light freeze. I don't think it's going to be a little bit too dry for us to really worry about significant frost accumulation, but light freeze is expected at this point north of Highway 21. And like I said, I'm probably going to bring down anywhere from BCS and southward. I'm probably going to bring down numbers a degree or two. But I like where Centerville, Crockett, Madisonville, Hearn is all sitting at, right at about 32 waking up. If it was going to be a little bit calmer, a little bit clearer, I would have lower lows for especially our outlying areas. But I like where this is. Light freeze, we're not talking about anything that'll burst pipes, but something that could probably try to wreck the tender vegetation. And again, that's not tonight. That's Monday night into Tuesday morning. Okay? And unfortunately, these storms that are rolling through right now, for at least some of us, is really all that I expect to see for a while. There's a 10-day forecast. You see a lot of zeros, right? Even through this weekend and going into next weekend. Yes, that is a 92 for Saturday and Sunday. Oop. Another thing I want to show you. This is from Sarah's stream. Look, right as we're starting to get tabs on the northern Brazos Valley, I believe that is a little bit of that dust cloud that is now rolling into, out by the Aggie barn, Bremond, Buffalo, Jewett. Y'all are going to start to see a little bit higher concentration of dust here before the rest of us. The joys of that northwest wind, right? Okay, gang, we'll wrap it up with that eventful stream. Appreciate you guys for all the reports. Makes these streams a lot easier and really just more fulfilling, just better. Get that better information for y'all. Still watching that storm. Moved through on Alaska now, and now into Livingston. Again, the concern here is for quarter-size hail. So be indoors. This is a Polk County storm now, so we're not really talking San Jacinto County anymore. Still, I think a little bit of small hail possible in between New Waverly and Willis, but nothing severe. We'll keep an eye on that and see if we need to hop back on the stream. But other than that, I think we're going to see just a lot of wind. If it's windy right now, you already saw a little bit of rain, or you haven't seen any rain yet, the chances are, unfortunately, you're not really going to find any. But gusty and dusty the next 12 hours. Absolutely, Martha. Appreciate it. Wanda, thank you too. And we'll check in with you guys tonight. We'll have another update, definitely before the 10 o'clock. Otherwise, if you just want to wait until we're on air tonight at 10, we will see you then. I appreciate you guys very much, and we'll check in soon.